Hi, friends. Hello, hello, hello. I am so excited to be here with you today. I am Bridget. I am the Bridget Brooks. I should say Bridget Brooks. I am the founder of Search Everywhere Marketing. We help brands become impossible to ignore without burning out, without posting 47 times a day. So if you've never met, here's what you need to know about me in under 30 seconds. I don't believe in hustle for hustle marketing. It just does not align with me at all. I believe in smart, visible marketing that compounds. Um, I built Search Everywhere Marketing because I was tired of watching great brands stay invisible while mediocre ones were dominating simply because they understood the distribution method. So I am going to go ahead and get started because we are right at the top of the hour. Today we are talking about omnichannel presence. If you saw our ad, you are here because of our ad, or you're here because you're scrolling through YouTube. This is really about talking about what omnichannel is, what it's all about, and omnichannel presence. So I do have a slideshow that I'm going to share with you. Let me go and share my screen. All right, so entire screen, share, slideshow, present. Perfect. So from Ghost to Omnipresence, the 4 rules that decide who wins paid media in 2026. This is the definitive framework for building a brand presence that converts in an attention scare marketplace. And when I say attention scarce marketplace, guys, that's what we're in. There's so much noise. There is so much going on that if you don't grab your audience attention in the first 3 seconds, you've already lost it, right? So we're talking about omnipresence, what it is, and how to win at it in 2026, which is hard to believe that's where we already are. Let me get the next one going. And I'm just pulling up my feed so I can see the live and make sure that I'm answering all the questions for you guys. So just bear with me for one moment because I don't want to miss anybody's questions. So I'm just getting that pulled up. All right, beautiful. So now I can see if anybody has any questions. Perfect. So let me start with something a little uncomfortable but honest. Most businesses that are at the 300 to 700K mark, you're doing everything right and still getting ignored. You've got real offer, real clients, you're not new, you're not sloppy, and yet your pipeline feels fragile. One slow month, and suddenly you're watching dashboards like it's a cardiac monitor. And that's not because your business is bad, it's because your business is invisible to most of your market. The reality is that the average consumer is exposed to 4,000 to 10,000 brand messages daily. Your competitors just launched 3 new campaigns, and that best performing ad you ran last quarter, it's already invisible. You're operating in what I call ghost mode. You show up once, maybe twice, and then you disappear. So, the harsh reality is that the average buyer needs 12 to 7 touch points before taking action. And Google reports that 90% of consumers are ready to buy the first time they see you. Yet most small businesses run ads that show up one time for one keyword on one platform. That's not marketing. That's hoping that someone's in the mood. So, omnipresence is what happens when people don't discover you and they actually recognize you. Let's clear something up real quick. Omnipresence doesn't mean being on every platform, doubling your ad spend, or becoming a content machine. It means that strategically, repeatedly, and coherently that you're showing up. Omnipresence doesn't mean that you're putting out 47 pieces of content a day. Brands that win in 2026 aren't necessarily the ones with the biggest budgets. They're the ones who understand that frequency compounds recognition, builds trust, and consistent visibility creates perception of category leadership. So, 7 to 12 touch points used to be the average number that brands needed to interact with. Research validates that top performing brands already know repetition isn't annoying, it's building trust. What does that mean for us? Well, I like to break it down into the 4 C's. Clarity, that's instant comprehension in a distraction world. Confidence, that's people don't buy from strangers, right? Credibility, social proof that validates your claim, and conversions, which is where people get really defensive. And we're going to cover that today. So, 1, clarity. Most paid ads fail for one reason: muddy messaging. Google's own research shows that if you have less than 1 second to earn the attention, at the beginning of this, I think I said 3 seconds, right? If the message isn't instantly clear, the scroll wins. So here's the problem that I see with most 500K businesses or plus. They explain what they do instead of what the customer gets. Full service solutions, innovative approach, customized strategies, none of that tells me why I should care. Winning creatives in 2026 has an answer to 3 questions instantly. Who is this for? What is this? And why should I care? Clear brands don't explain, they declare. And when clarity is missing, you pay more per click, more per lead, and more per conversion. That's not an option. It's math, guys. So, number 2, confidence. When I take a drink of water, let's talk about trust. People don't buy from strangers, right? They buy from brands that they've seen before. Confidence builds through controlled repetition. Seeing you on Meta when they're scrolling, then Google when they're searching, then Nextdoor when they're asking their neighbors. And the data shows repeated exposure can increase conversions by up to 3%. Familiar brands consistently outperform better offers they don't recognize. This is where most business owners panic and say, I don't want to annoy people, right? But here's the truth. You're not annoying. You're forgettable. The brands winning right now don't convince harder. They show up longer. Number 3, credibility. Now, this one hits the wallet. Your ads is your digital storefront. And if your ads look cheap, inconsistent, unproven, the algorithm uses that and those type of people to push to you. Nelson study shows that ads with a visible social proof increase the click-through rate by up to 300%. Brands with consistent creatives show a lower cost per click because platforms reward trust signals. What I see with mid-market businesses is good service, real results, zero visibility authority. If your proof only lives on your website, or worse, in your head, you're paying a credibility tax on every single click. Next is the conversion. Now, this is where a lot of people get really defensive. Omnipresence without conversion is just an expensive hobby. It's just you spending money. Data doesn't care how much effort you put into it, it only cares what works. Industry benchmarks show that businesses that review and optimize ads at least monthly outperform the set it and forget it accounts by 20 to 30%. Yet, most 500K businesses owners look at ads when something breaks, react emotionally to short-term dips, and don't have a feedback loop. It's just reactions. The conversion is not about tricks. It's about systems that listen to the data. systems that listen to the analytics. The numbers tell you the next step to make. So, from understanding this to execution, you want to understand the 4 rules. We've seen the data. The question is, does this work, right? The evidence is overwhelming. So it's not, does this work? The real question is, how do you implement it? To leave ghost mode, because that's what most of us sit in, is ghost mode, you need to follow 4 steps. 1, audit your current process. Find visibility gaps in your customer journey. If you don't know what your customer journey looks like, go through it straight from your website. 2, design your touch point strategy. Map out those 7 to 12 touch points that we talked about, whether they're through email, text message, or automation, and even AI. Have those 12 touch points mapped out. Number 3 is build your optimization system. Stop guessing and start testing with a rigorous cadence. When I worked for Facebook, one of the things that we always said was go fast and break things. In tech, when you break one thing, you can definitely expect something else to break. But that's where the gold lies. And number 4, commit to consistency. Because in 2026, consistency beats intensity every time. Sounds simple, right? Well, simple doesn't mean easy. This is the implementation gap. Algorithms consistently change, platforms reward consistency, omnipresence requires maintenance, and suddenly marketing becomes the second full-time job on top of running your business. And this is where I had the realization. I just want to teach people the framework and send them off to do the execution themselves. I didn't want them to have to struggle in the execution, though. I wanted to build the engine, a place where messaging stays clear, confidence loops are automated, and the conversion data is reviewed consistently. That's why we created the SEM Omnipresence membership. It's not a course, it's an infrastructure built specifically for businesses who are done guessing and are ready to stop being a ghost. So, here's your choice. You can keep showing up once and hope that it's enough, or you can build a presence that's so consistent that prospects feel like they already know and trust you before they ever click. You have 90 days to stop being a ghost, so join the sprint. Master the 4 C's, get audited, graduate, and scale. I'm Bridget Brooks, co-founder of Search Everywhere Marketing, and that's all I have for you guys today on Omnipresence. Bye.